All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Taylor House Publishing. First of all, once again, we want to give honor to the Most High for allowing us to be here. Um, Also, I want to thank everyone who watches and comments and participates with these videos. Make sure that when you come in, you let me know where you're coming from. Um, and also leave, you know, some encouragement in the chat. What's up, Ellis? Well, Ellis in Wonderland. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Also, once again, we want to give once again our thoughts and prayers to the Magee family. As you know, we have been covering this story for the past month, and so today I received a lot of new information that I think is helpful with us kind of putting some clarity to the situation. So once again, I want to thank everybody who called in with information. I received a call from a resident of Henderson that stays about a mile from the Shell station. And everybody knows the Shell station is where the location right across the street from T&R Trucking, where Javion was found. And a lot of people think that the photo that everybody has seen, and if you haven't seen, I'll put it on the show, put it up there in a minute. But the photo, a lot of people think that the photo was taken from that gas station, from a still shot from the camera. Somehow that photo got leaked, and everybody believes that the three people in that photo are the individuals that may be responsible either for Javion's demise or covering up his demise. But I'm going to play you a conversation with the gentleman that I had today. I'm also going to show you some information about the quote unquote homeless guy, and we're gonna go from there to once again probably figure out what really happened to our brother. And shout out to my brother Jay from FX for the logo that you see. I appreciate if y'all guys need some artwork. He's definitely somebody to holler at. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna play the introduction, and then we're gonna get right into it with this conversation with the individual that I talked to today. So y'all stay tuned, stay with me. Y'all like the video, y'all share the video, and I'll be right back with you.
Get ready to dive into everything happening in North Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Lake County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you on your feet.
Taylor House, we got the school.
Taylor House Publishing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, shout out to my brother too, Judah Israel, for making that intro as well. So you definitely got to give credit where credit is due. So I thank my brothers for doing this totally free. Just like, yo, brother, I want to help you out. Here's this, here's that, and that gives me some definite inspiration. And not only that, like many of you have offered things too. So I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, for joining in, and offering. Definitely all hands on deck. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to play this conversation with this gentleman, and he gets a little bit into his personal life, so y'all kind of excuse that. But I'm gonna play the part where he talks about the homeless guy. And the homeless guy that you saw in the thumbnail is Patrick West. I'm also going to play his interview again so you can compare what the gentleman is saying into what Patrick is saying in this interview. So here's the gentleman that I spoke with today.
Let's talk about the homeless dude Patrick real quick.
Oh, I know him personally. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. So what did you say about him earlier when we was talking? You told me something that he used to do.
Okay, you see how this road up here on the side of the highway is?
Yeah.
The girl that he's with used to be a prostitute on that page. Okay. They used to come up here, her and Lindsay, and mess with the truck drivers and sit in their trucks and do stuff out here in the parking lot with them. And her name is Courtney. I could probably get her to talk with you about some of that. But as far as Patrick, if you want to speak to Patrick yourself, all you got to do is go to Walmart and you'll catch him sitting right there at the entrance, man. He will talk to you.
Yeah, I know another lady who told me he would talk to me as well, but she called me, but he won't out there. But you said he'd be standing in the median right by there because they won't let him come back to the store?
Yeah, all right. See, it's a Pizza Hut entrance right there. The Pizza Hut, not that entrance. It's the middle entrance. It's in between Walmart and the other little shopping center. So he sits at that median, either him or John. They both sit at that median, or they sit at Ruin Creek Road at 85 with a sign claiming they're homeless. They're not homeless, man. His house is not the house that you put. It's the next house.
Okay.
That's a shack. That's a shed.
Okay.
The house that they live on is at the end of the street. The last house on the left. He lives with his parents.
Oh, okay. So he not homeless. He just like to be out in the streets, getting in trouble.
No, they shoot dope all day, every day. Go to the methadone clinic every day and then shoot dope all day.
Okay, so it is confirmed that he used stuff. So I don't know if you seen the one when I looked up his record, right? He got a whole bunch of charges. One of them is common law robbery. Now,
common law robbery is about like what I was telling you. What they go do with the truck driver.
What they do? Break it down to me. What they do?
Say take a prostitute to them and then act like they're gonna do something with them and get the money first, and then they take the prostitute and go. Or they rob him. That's common law robbery.
Okay, so do you think that's what he was arrested for? Cause that was I forgot when that was, but it won't too long ago. But look, all his charges get dismissed though. Why all of his charges get dismissed? I'm talking about every one of them in Vance County.
They sit down in the county jail and nobody will bond him out, and then when they go to court, say like the way these sheriffs are around here, if you go to court and you got a case and the cop ain't there, they'll usually go back to court 2 times. And if the cop can't get there, they just throw it out.
Oh, okay. So that's why
he definitely uses fentanyl and shoots up every day. And he's right on that video that he's high as a kite.
Yeah.
I talked to him the other day, man, because, I don't know if you're recording or not, man. Me and my old lady broke up a couple months back, and the girl that he's dealing with now is my ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
All right. Well, she come back around a couple months ago, man, and I kind of knocked her up, dude, and she got mad at me because I went back to my girlfriend and stuff. So, I'm kind of really close with them folks, man.
Okay, so you in the circle.
I tried to reach out to you.
Appreciate it. So look,
all right, so I'm gonna end it there. And you see, my brother was talking about, how he spent the block on his old girlfriend, who is now with Mr. Patrick. But there's a few things in that conversation that stuck out to me. And once again, I thank y'all for joining. Make sure y'all like and share the video. And if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. But he first mentioned that, a lot of the trucks used to park on that side road, and I didn't queue up that picture, but the Shell station is facing the street, and on the right side of the Shell station is a road. That road leads directly to Walmart Distribution Center. And so what the truckers would do would park on the side of that road and probably wait for their loads or, wait for, or just rest, right? And so what he said that, he would bring the ladies of the night, the S workers, Patrick would bring them over there act like they was going to do something, and then when they give them the money, him and the girl will take off. Or they may do something, and then, after they do something, then they would, relieve the truckers from their money. Now, I want to show you this real quick because if you saw the first video I did about him, I pulled up his criminal record. And this right here is a charge that he had in 2022. Now you see the offense date. The offense date is August of 19th, 2022. The charge was filed August 19th, 2022. And you see the charge, common law robbery and simple assault. And so there he has a charge. Now, I didn't pull up the disposition of the case, but if you go back and watch that last video I did about him when we first identified Mr. Patrick West, those charges were dismissed. Now, this gentleman says that they were dismissed because of the lack of sheriff deputies showing up to court. That could be true, but also they may not be showing up to court because they know that he is their guy. And so you said there could have been a fake homeless guy in the truck with Javion. I don't know about that, but that is something that leads him to be more than just a recipient of Javion's kindness. That puts him in the area of suspicious. And also we said that Patrick stands out by the median at the entrance by the Pizza Hut. So when you see Javion walking to his truck, and people saying that he gave him money at the entrance, the video clearly shows Javion walking unabated to his truck. And so evidently they're talking about when Javion's trailer goes out of view. And so you see him get in the truck and he drives off out of view. Now, when you're leaving out the parking lot, you got to go around a little curb and you get to that street. I assume that's where Patrick and his fellow homeless people stay. Now, also, you heard the man mention, well, he's not homeless. I put up a picture of his supposed house when we did the first video, and as that man corrected me, that is not his house. That is a shed close to his house. So he said that Patrick lives evidently on the end of Swain Street with his parents. So then there's another inconsistency of the police saying, or detectives saying he's homeless. So that also puts me in the propensity to question them, because once again, it's a small town. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's not an officer. So I'm pretty sure the rest of the police in the town knows what he's doing. So he's not homeless. And the detectives and whoever pulled him out of the lineup, or like you said, pulled him out of the methadone clinic and said, hey, come here. They know that he is not homeless. So that's another narrative that we have to question with the sheriff's narrative. Now, he also mentioned that, him and his friends, they sniff a little white powdery substance all day. And if you listen to the WRAL interview, you can actually hear him being intoxicated. Like the man said, he said in that interview, yeah, he was definitely he was definitely on something. Matter of fact, let me play that interview for those of you who haven't heard it. I'm going to play that interview for you guys real quick, and hopefully it queues up. Okay, no, October 14th. Okay, hold on. Let me get this real quick. Family of okay, so let's go back. Let me find that video real quick so y'all can hear it. But you definitely hear that he is intoxicated. What date was that on? That was, I think that date was on September the 19th. Here we go right here. Let me share this with you real quick. And of course, it wants to restart. Hold on real quick. Let's play this interview for those of you who haven't heard. Javion Magee's family depends.
Missed fall enrollment? It's your time to shine at William Peace University. WPU is enrolling for the spring semester at our co-ed university in the heart of Raleigh. We offer more than 30.
His father said that he also
was one of the first people that say, "Hey, Dad, I'm about to go drive." You know?
Leading up to when he was found dead last week.
Smart distribution center. So from there, after he drops off his by that rope, from there, we've learned that in the parking lot, Javion Magee gives a homeless person more than $200. And he tells them, "This is all that I have. If I had more, I would give it to you." The sheriff's office says that was $228. I actually talked to that person who received that money. All right, tell me your name.
Patrick West.
Walk me through what happened when you met Javion.
He just gave me some money because I'm homeless out here, and I mean, I guess he's just a good guy, and he just gave me everything in his wallet, he gave me all the cash he had on him, I guess.
What was the conversation like, or was there any conversation?
No, he just stopped and gave me some money. All he said was, he said, "I don't know how much money this is, but you can have it." He said, "Whatever it is, you can have it." And he hopped back in his truck and left.
So what was his demeanor like?
He seemed fine. I don't know.
Like, what has been your reaction then to hearing, like, this man was, I'm guessing, a blessing to you, and then the next thing you know, he's all over.
Yeah, I know.
National attention.
Yeah, I don't know. It blows my mind to hear about that, because I mean, he seemed like a pretty good guy.
Anything that you want to ask them?
Oh, was he pleasant? Was he you look like he was sad about anything, or he just?
No, he didn't look sad at all. He just seemed normal. Yeah, he just seemed normal.
How often do you get $200+ at once?
Hardly ever. I've had one other person give me like $300 and something one time, and that's it.
What does that mean to you?
Say what now?
What does it mean to you to get that much
Someone
money?
be that generous to you?
Man, that's a really good person. That's a really good person that will do that for you. There's not a lot of people that even stops and gives you $1,
So from there, Magee.
And there they go, continuing on the narrative. Now, as you see that he's definitely under the influence of something. He's very incoherent. And the main thing that I saw or I heard was when the lady asked him, "Well, what did he say? What did he do? Was there any conversation?" He immediately says, "No. He just gave me some money." Oh yeah. He said, when this is all I got. I'm giving you everything in my wallet. And so you can tell that he had been coached on what to say. Now, once again, he is definitely homeless. He's been in trouble with the law. None of his charges. Now, once again, you can go up on the NC Courts portal and pull up his name, Patrick West. None of his charges in Vance County, in Henderson, North Carolina, he has never served a day. And he has about over 30 or 40 charges. The only time that he ever was arrested and given time was in Wake County when he was arrested for about 5 or 6 charges. He was convicted. They gave him 90 days. He served about 63, and he was let out in about June or July. That's why in that picture, one of the pictures, he looks a little bit healthy. Now, but the narrative of Javion, possibly giving him some money, and we don't see it on camera, would be when Javion got to the exit of the Walmart, of the Walmart complex, not the Walmart store, because we wouldn't have been able to see that. But I'm pretty sure there are satellite cameras. There are several cameras in the area that would show that. And so that once again puts Patrick West as, a possible suspect, knowing that, Javion was a foreign truck driver. He had dropped his trailer. But the question would be, how would he have found Javion, not knowing where he would have gone, unless, Javion made him ask him for a ride, $200. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. And I even, of course, if you watched last night, you saw the interview with his father. He talked about how generous Javion was, but he didn't think that he would, get out of the car and give somebody all of his money. And so that's what a lot of people think. But also, I think they are using Mr. West as the smoking gun, meaning, somebody he gave away his money. So, and he bought a rope. So he was giving away his money because he knew he wasn't going to need it. So therefore, he went and did that to him. But his father, last night said that Javion was paying, just paid his car note. He just did some other things. He was planning on going down to Houston. And so none of that adds up with this narrative that, that they're playing. And actually, so I received a couple of more stories, and I'm not going to get into one story, but I do have some information that I'm going to share tomorrow morning. But I want to be thorough and exact with that information, so I'm not going to share it live. I definitely want to show all of the evidence that we have identified one of the officers, and it has been confirmed that they were officers in that photo. And we identified the actual name of one of them. And we have also, eyewitness testimony that, the other two are as well officers. So I'm going to get into that tomorrow morning. But someone also, I'm getting all of these narratives that lead to, a possible scuffle. The one, with the with the, hey Taylor, I see I sent you about Javion's best friend. Text him before he passed. No, I didn't see that. I know there's a narrative about him texting one of his friends, and somebody took his words out of context. But I did see the message. I thought it was a different message. But his father, also as he stated, and I'm not going to say that because I can't remember if we talked about but his father has, some knowledge, about, his phone and the inner workings and some other conversations and things that transpired. So we'll wait till he is able, or, the investigation concludes that, we'll address that. But I do want everyone, once again, to stay vigilant, to keep sharing the videos, to keep calling the sheriff, to keep sending messages, because what I feel now, because as we spoke to Mr. Magee last night, is that the sheriff, according to Mr. Magee and according to us, what we've seen, they have not done anything else than what they've done originally. And once again, I have some information about the crime scene as well. I'm going to share tomorrow, which kind of mirrors what Mr. Magee thinks. Like, they have nothing. They have not done anything. But the only reason why I think that they are keeping the case open, because we are keeping so much heat on the matter. Now, the gentleman, and I didn't play that. I didn't play that part, but he mentioned, and as Mr. Magee mentioned yesterday, that Sheriff Rain was worried about some threats, right? And the guy, we're going to touch that later on, but I think that they are failing to make a final decision, because they know that we know that it didn't happen how they saying it happened. So what that leads me to believe is they are waiting for us to be quiet, and that's something that we can't do. I know there hasn't been much new information. We've been analyzing, once again, every nook and cranny. We've overturned every stone, every pebble, every rock, every brick, every graphite, every cement. So we're digging in the nooks and crannies, and we've overturned and uncovered so much stuff that there's no way that they can just outright say it right now. It says Patrick West is an informant for the people that murdered Javion. Patrick West needs to be very careful because he poses a threat. So, and that may be true, because sometimes when people are, as I forgot who said it, but sometimes when evil people are through with their toys, they break them, and so it's obvious that Mr. West is just a pawn. They pulled him out once again of a methadone clinic one day, and they got him to say indeed what he said. Now, once again, I don't know if any agency has picked up the case, Camp 8 Racing, but what I'm hearing is, someone said that, the NAACP was in town, which I have yet to verify. I know a private investigator who reached out to me. He went down there this past week on his own accord, on his own dime, and began to, speak to certain people. And they were, they were kind of interested in, telling or at least hinting on what they know. Once again, a lot of people have to live there. And so I give them grace in that manner, because when this is all over, they still have to live there. So if they put themselves in any compromising position, and the people who are guilty of this cover-up are not brought to, justice, then, they may have to suffer some repercussions or uncomfortability trying to live their life in a manner of peace, love, and happiness. So I don't fault people. Like I mentioned the other day, I feel that if Javion was from Henderson, then there would be a whole lot of unrest, uproar, and things of that nature. You said, "Hey, look." So I wish I'm gonna wait to share this information because once again I haven't verified it, so I don't want to just be throwing things out. But Sheriff Brain is peeking out his windows every second. He's afraid of what's going to come his way if this case has come to light, and that's what that's what we know. Sheriff Brain, is afraid. He did talk finally with Mr. McGee. So, yeah, that's strange too. But once again, you know what I find strange, Rich, about Javion being a young man? No talk of him communicating with a girlfriend or close friends from his hometown. Now, of course, there is no talk of that because why? The police still have the phone. Now, according to once again, certain sources, they are, they are still saying that they can't get the phone open, which, many people have said that there is that is a lie because the only thing they have to do, once again, is call one phone company. Andrew Maloney says the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act is a United States federal law which defines lynching as a federal H crime, increasing the maximum penalty to 30 years imprisonment for several H crime offenses. And that's right. That bill is effective only if it is put in play. Only if it's executed. And so that is something that, once again, if they have a bill, we all know that it's wrong, but if they ignore the fact or they cover up the fact or they refuse to do an investigation, then that bill is serves of none effect. Now, because if they are not going to use it in the times and the places where it should be used, then that is basically it's useless. That's a good question too. If this was supposed to be as cut and dry as it seemed, they would have already closed the investigation. And once again, I've got some, like I said, some information that I'm going to share in the morning that just shows that they have not, they didn't do anything. Just cut and dry. They didn't do anything, and I'm trying to hold back from sharing it because like I want it to be like laid out flat and plain. So so that's what we have with Patrick West. He's not a homeless guy. He's known for hanging around the truck stop, setting people up, being involved with women of the night or the day or lot lizards as they call them, and he definitely has a history of substance abuse. Now, once again, I've been around, some substance users, and, they would do anything. They're heartless, and anybody knows anything about substance use, it's also spiritual. It opens up the gate to, certain entities. And as you see, Mr. West from that photo, his soul looks cold. His soul looks, it looks. Let me show look at his face from this picture right here. Let me pull this up right here. Just look at his face. From this picture right here. Look at his eyes. They look cold, and look at this. So this, wait a minute. See, I didn't even know this is a Raleigh mugshot from April the 7th, 2024. And assault, misdemeanor larceny, resisting arrest, and that is in Vance County, probation violation. So he had a lot of charges that he wasn't going to court for. And look at this picture as well. Now that is taken about 2 weeks ago when the lady seen him at the parking lot. You see the back of the Walmart parking lot. That is him 2 weeks ago, probably right after they did the interview. Look how deep and soulless that his eyes look. Now, this is the guy that we supposed to believe as the star witness with all of these charges. Let's go over some of his charges. They unsafe movement, 2011. Okay, we're going to 2017 driving charge, solicit and begging arms for money, laundering. What's this? Driving while license revoked, fictitious tags, driving while license revoked, called and failed. That means he didn't go to court. So a motion to continue. This is impeding traffic, sitting still idle. That's probably he's out there begging. What is this? Fictitious tags and registration, peddling license violation, second degree trespass. Here's about 7 charges. And this is, he was arrested on this 7/18/24. So that is 7/18/24. You know what that is? That is when, so he still has pending charges. These charges are less than a month and a half. You see the arrest date, right? Well, the offense date, so the offense date is 7/14. So that he was arrested after he was released from Wake County. So he probably had a hold on him. But he still has all of these charges currently pending. And so, that may be a way that they have used them. Resisting public officer, 4/7/24. Bond forfeiture, meaning he didn't go to court. Common law robbery, once again. And this was dismissed like 10 days after that. So that doesn't fit the narrative that my brother put up. But let me see. So we're gonna, so all of those charges, and he hasn't did not one lick of time. And so pending charges that will be dropped. Yeah. So he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. As the man mentioned in the call, that he is someone that, is willing to talk. Let me see here. Who do we have here? Okay, so yeah, so she's so the homeless man was sitting out somewhere today. I think she said he was sitting there out where the trucker stopped today. So according to now, tell me if I'm wrong, because I know you're watching, but it looks like that and that's some. So if y'all do want to call and chime in, I'm not going to be on tonight, but I definitely wanted to extend that information tonight, that Patrick was known by people in the community, someone who lives by the Shell station, who goes to the Shell station, who knows the area, knows the layout, hangs around in the same circle as Patrick. So let me see. So if there was a gate, who let him in after the shop was closed? And if the gate was closed, how was he able to walk back and forth to the truck? See, I think that people have the misconception that he parked in the gate. He did not park in the gate. He parked outside of the gate. And that's one of the narratives I got. That they came out and told him that the place was closed and told him not to park there. And so, from one narrative, not saying this narrative is true, Javion, disregarded them and left the trailer there anyway. And so that may be a source of conflict that happened. Once again, that is just speculation, as well as all of the things that we suggest are speculation, because we don't, we don't know. You said, is that junkie is related to the cop? Now, we don't know. Once again, I know that Henderson is a small, close-knit county, and so I'm pretty sure if they're not related, they know each other. Cassie S., any word on whether the family is considering possibly suing the trucking company for failure to supervise Javion? I don't, once again, I can't speak for the family. I know that same company employed our dear beloved sister, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kanika Jenkins, I think his name, or Kenesha Jenkins, who was found unalived in her truck down in Louisiana. She also drove for KLLM. So unfortunately, those companies are just basically about their bottom dollar. And so, I guess truck drivers come a dime a dozen. And so there is, there is no Carmisha. Okay, Carmisha Jenkins. Rest in peace to her, and condolences to her family. Carmisha Jenkins. Yes, been no justice for her. And a lot of people are talking about, I received a couple of articles about, the targeting of truck drivers. And I know my man, there's been a couple of truck drivers online who can speak to that. I've received several truck drivers, calls from truck drivers who say, okay, it's not Kanika Jenkins. I'm sorry. Kanika Jenkins is the one that was, I guess, found in the freezer, if I'm not. Okay, so this is the owner, the Duff Brothers Capital Court, owned by brothers Thomas and James Duff, has owned transport services, KLL. So that may be another person that we want to call and ask them, what do they think about the demise of our dear brother, and how are they helping the investigation? So, okay, my man is putting out a lot of information. James Richard Jr., the president and chief executive officer, Carpenter, vice president of operations. So these are the, appreciate you, Fire 4N. I think I pronounced that right. So those are the people who are in charge of this. And, once again, we have to, Carmisha Thomas, thank you. This is my journey. And how was it that they went ahead and embalmed his body? They couldn't put his body on ice, ship him back to North Sea. And once again, I'm not versed in the funeral. Call, and definitely call, and y'all see the number on the bottom if y'all have information that y'all want to share. We'll keep the phone lines open for about 15 minutes. We got about 15 minutes left, so if y'all do want to call in, thank you. And that's the bottom line. My sister, I'm sorry, Deal Wyndham, 2 Mississippi white men that are billionaires and are not definitely going to give in flying fluck. But put them on blast. Put them on it, because they're already on the map because of Javion's passing and the other woman's passing. People are making the correlation, Some even saying, maybe they do have insurance on their drivers, which I don't know. KLM is one of the largest temperature-controlled truckload carriers in the United States. The company's headquarters are in Jackson, Mississippi, and all KLM are connected to the headquarters. So that's that's something that once again once again his father kind of explained about yesterday with the truck that Javion had. It was an older truck, and the cameras were not inside, and the only way that the cameras work is if he had or encountered an accident. So that is something why that people are asking, why is there not any footage of that? And so there's a lot of unanswered questions. Brother Taylor and Tony, Brother Taylor, Andre Tony, my bad. Have they found the truck and trailer yet? And that's another part of things that we are going to hear tomorrow. But from my understanding, the police know where the truck and the trailer is. They have towed it to an undisclosed location. Now, I don't know if the truck is still there, but we are not. Appreciate you. This is my journey. We are not sure. As we spoke to the father yesterday, he didn't have any information as well. My brother Gordon Shepherd asked, why is the black race the only race that's not on code? But I think we are getting there. When instances like this are happening, I mean, everybody who calls in are definitely on code. Like, people are calling from way out there, Arkansas, California, Seattle, Nevada, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Idaho. Like, everybody is wondering what can they do from where they at. So I think that we do have the propensity, we have the ability, we have the divine instruction to know how to get on code when these things happen. Nevertheless, we have to enact that code on a day-to-day basis to prevent these things from happening. The camera comes on when the truck has a hard brake or a collision warning. So according to, once again, if you watched last night with his father, the truck that Javion had only activated cameras in the event of an accident. And so since they didn't have any accident, then of course there's not any footage of this footage that they claim that they have of Javion doing this and Javion doing that. New Orleans, okay. Are you from New Orleans? Because she said the KKK knows they definitely ain't scaring nobody from New Orleans. But as if y'all watched the video from yesterday morning, I pointed out that there are several pockets of H groups who are actively recruiting people across the nation. I spoke on the Trinity White Knights, that they had just circulated an internet flyer that was circulated in a private Facebook group on October the 1st. That's 2 weeks ago. It was circulated in a town in Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania is where Javion left. Now, this group is out of Maysville, Kentucky. And they have sent flyers to Springfield, Ohio, several places in Kentucky. So there are people who literally feel, the same way that, you know, they same way that they felt 100 years ago. Now, imagine if you watch that video, I pulled up North Carolina, and there are over 50 pockets of H groups here. Some of them, most of them, list them as statewide. And in Pelham, you know, they have one, you know, a real triple K group that's listed as a triple K group. Is anybody from Pelham, North Carolina, in the chat? But okay, so I just received a message, and they said that there was a goth-looking female that was involved in this. Now, those, you know, there are a lot of spiritual readers out there, and you know, I know the validity of, you know, those readings. Some people are able to you know, receive messages from powers. Now, you know, once again, I don't subscribe to that particular method. However, you know, I'm not going to knock anybody who does, but you know, that there's a lot of information coming from, you know, spiritual seers, I'll call them. And you know, they are, you know, providing information, which once again, some of it corroborates with what we found out, and some of it may not. But of course, we don't know what we found out is true. My brother Lemuel Ben Israel. Now, you're correct. I've noticed from across the country, when it comes to organ harvesting, they apparently don't like the age choices, and it's almost someone young age. And now that's something I had to look up after a conversation with somebody today. The lady said, well, you know, one kidney on the black market can go for $40,000. So of course I was like, well, let me see how accurate she was. And I looked it up, and it said no, one kidney will go for $100,000 on the black market. So if, you know, and once again, we know the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you have an intricate network where, you know, you can get these kidneys off, and these hearts, and these lungs, and you know, these whatevers, you know, you can get $1 million or $2 million just off of one, you know, unalive body, and you know you can get away with it, then that may be why we see all of these quote unquote, you know, suspension in trees unalive. Now, mind you, of course, too, to prevent damage to the organs, you know, that's where there's not any damage or physical damage to the body, as far as, you know, cuts or, you know, firearm wounds, you know. So now adrenochrome, my man, I heard of that before. I didn't really look into it. They said, you know, that's what these celebrities take to, you know, to keep them looking young. I have not researched that. So you know, I don't know validity to that. Not saying you're wrong, but you know, I just don't know anything about that. Okay, so what the report I did on the truck driver from the state of Indiana shows the links they'll go to. Now, I don't remember that one. Okay, to Darius Perry. Oh, okay, you might be talking to Darius Repair. So everybody I kind of record, they know they're being recorded. And also, like when you called, I had a young lady call today. I will not record you if, you know, you don't, you know, if unawareingly, you know, I will not record you. If you want to share something with me, you don't want to be recorded. That's, you know, I don't do that unless, you know, I'm talking to a law official or somebody who I think the conversation is go left. So I need proof or like that. So You don't have to worry about it. I had a chance to speak with, a couple of people today who, they had pertinent information. And once again, you're going to hear some of that information tomorrow. But you don't have to worry about being so you like me, pure repentance at the heart. You know what I'm saying? If anyone come live talking about readings, I'm out. Like I said, I don't. I mean, once again, I have to stick with what I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to venture into things that I don't know about. Once again, not saying that whatever a person do is. I mean, I'm not liking it to that, but I can pray and fast, and I receive answers too. So, however you receive your answers, long as it's in the will of God, then I'm not going to knock anybody. Okay, so 1 year during Mule Day in Benson, they said someone rolled through the parade on a horse with the carriage, and on the back was a mannequin that looked like Obama. With the noose around his head. So Benson, Benson is Benson. I don't think Benson is Johnson County, but it's close. But Benson, is one of those towns. Also, Angier. Once again, I definitely have to share the lady's story out of Angier when her son was reportedly suspended in air on a tree on his own accord with his own genes. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. So New Orleans Mardi Gras truck stop is 97 black. Oh yeah, Reedsville right now. I think they're having something out there. Reedsville and a lot of these towns like Vance County, Reedsville, Burke, Lenoir, I think Buncombe. A lot of these towns are known or named after known self-proclaimed quote unquote white supremacists. So that energy, Angier. Oh yeah, Angier is Harnett County. I already know. Like we're gonna. It's something we're gonna have his mother on. She called me yesterday, and she's ready to tell her story. But Angier had officers. They had officers. Look up this. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you the article real quick. So they had these officers. Wow. Okay. So, okay, no, that's 2014. No, this is okay. This happened 3 years ago. Let me share this with y'all real quick. Let me share this screen real quick, and we'll So here you have $6 million settlement after KKK deputies of Harnett County sued for excessive force. Now they call themselves the KKK deputies, and this was in 2021, only 3 years ago. The sheriff office has agreed to $6 million settlement in a lawsuit in which 6 families accused the Department of Pattern using excessive force doled out by deputies who allegedly referred to them as the KKK. A Raleigh-based attorney Robert Zayton announced the settlement with the Harnett County Sheriff's Department on behalf of the plaintiffs, WRAL reported. Zayton, who's the department's insurer, will pay the settlement, didn't respond to a phone call seeking additional comment. Now, also, you have to understand that these sheriff's offices have insurance. So whatever they do, they're not going to suffer financially. And so the family sued 4 deputies, Sheriff Wayne Coates and former Sheriff Larry Rollins, in November. The lawsuit was filed by the family of John David Livingston, who was shot and unalive by a Harnett County deputy after refusing to allow a warrantless search of his home in 2005. Former Deputy Nicholas Cahagas fatally shot Livingston on his front porch in a scuffle. Witnesses say Cahagas barged into the home that night after Livingston, who was white, what a rarity, told him that the person authorities were looking for didn't live there. Witnesses said that the deputy had yanked Livingston out of the car. And lawyers for the sheriff's office had argued in court documents that Livingston was intoxicated. The lawsuit also accused Cahagas and two other deputies whose surnames begin with the letter K of calling them the KKK. The suit outlined 43 causes of actions, denied a pattern of excessive force. And so here's the statement, though. This is what they do. This settlement is not any way an admission of guilt to any action of the deputies. Although I was not the sheriff at the time, I still support the men that were involved and believe they acted appropriately. Are you kidding me? That is what we are going on. That is what we have people defending these actions. Of course, Angier, Harnett County, that once again, this lady told me about, the things that she's going through. And, we have to just admit it's a good old boy town. Now, not even mentioning the case of Christian Griggs. Now, I'm just going to give you an overview. Christian Griggs was a black man who had a baby by a white female in Harnett County. Apparently, one day he went to see the child and got into a verbal altercation with the white girl's father. And the white girl's father, who was a former law enforcement officer, ended up shooting Mr. Griggs in the back, I think, about 6 times, unaliving our dear brother. And if I'm not mistaken, the former law officer was not charged. So this is what we're dealing with. We are dealing with an intricate network. Like my brother said, like they have networks. Like I said, they have insurers that's going to pay the family off, and they are not going to discipline the officer who did it. Now, if they do, what they do is just send him to another town, another state, another city, and then let him continue on elsewhere. So, same thing happens in Vance County. Now, the brother told me about a lot of officers in Vance County that has been caught doing some very, very underhanded, despicable things. Now, okay, look up what you say. Look up. It couldn't happen here. Episode of Andrew, North Carolina, season 2. Okay, I've never heard of that. Adorable 13. I've never heard of that. But speaking with the mother of the young man who they claim suspended himself in the air from a tree, she told me about that Christian Briggs case. Actually, I have a flyer, and I'm not going to, but I have a flyer that details about 6 incidents from Harnett County, and I'm probably going to dive in that a little later on. They were both coming from, or he went to PA afterwards. Okay. Okay, let's go. Just like the young black man found suspended in the air in a house in Alabama. The same officers he had a lawsuit against him for harassment and false arrest beating, talking about he unalived himself. Now, if y'all haven't watched that video, my brother's name is Denarius Richardson. Go back and watch that. I think that was about 4 or 5 days ago. We touched on that. But a lady from the town called me the next day, or like maybe 2 days or 2 days ago. She told me that the same house that they found my brother, it's an abandoned house, the same day they found my brother suspended in the air from a beam on the carport, the next day They bulldozed the house. Now, if that don't scream, hey, we did it, we just getting rid of the evidence, nothing doesn't. Now, mind you, that happened, I think, September the 28th, and it just reached the newsstands like the day before I did it. That was probably like October the 8th or the 9th, maybe even the 10th. That just reached the news. So that's how deep that they can cover these things up. Now, mind you, if it was not for Javion's cousin putting out the TikTok video, many people would not even have known about his thing, about this that we've been doing. So how much more? Just like the brother and the young brother, you probably haven't heard of it. If you watched the video I did about it, you heard of it. But before then, Jacoby Lindsay happened about 4 days after Javion. Young 18-year-old brother from a foster home. Not a foster home, like a school, a boarding school or something like that, was found suspended in the air from a tree in a fetal position. The article is so faint on that. Like let me show you what they wrote about my brother real quick if y'all ain't seen it. In Hattiesburg, Mississippi. All right, so look at this article right here. Look how many. Let me get back. Let me hurry up and show y'all this real quick. Look at the attention that they gave this situation. Look at the attention. Look how short this article is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. This happened on September the 17th, only 6 days after our brother Javion. Hattiesburg police investigate deceased body found near elementary school. Hattiesburg police are investigating a body found near Thames Elementary School in Hattiesburg this morning. Police said on social media, they didn't even release a true press conference or a statement to the press. They said on their social media, officers were called at 7:20 a.m. Tuesday to check a report of a body found in the school. Investigators confirmed to the media that the person was not a student from the nearby school. The famous line that we've been hearing in all of these cases comes next. No foul play is suspected, and there was no danger to students or to the public. There is an ongoing investigation, and additional information will be released when available. Now, let me check, see if any other article. Nope, the 17th. There's something already. Okay, wait a minute. No, that's from 2015. So there you see, that is pretty much the only article that they, well, the Cash App is on the screen, my brother. Rich Money 7777. Appreciate you, TM. Appreciate you. You see it coming across the ticker. But that is, you see the 7 words that they gave. Now, also, they didn't say, if you go back and watch that video, they didn't say how the individual died. But I watched the one news article that they talked about it. They did a minute on the incident. Then they spent about a minute and a half on mental health and problems with children. And we have to be careful. They're hurting inside, right? But the article said nothing about self-unalivement. But the narrative from the article is going to put you in, okay, well, he was depressed. But they don't talk about nothing in that article. My son-in-law is from a town right side of Harrisburg, Lawrenceburg, and he said that Harrisburg is a sundown town and only the black people live there that are welcome. Okay, well, evidently, that young brother, I think he lived there And, you know, he must have not been welcome. Yeah, Mississippi. I heard about Mississippi, and that's one place I do want to visit. And and the reason why I do want to visit Jackson, Mississippi. That's one, that's one place I said I'm going to go to Jackson, Mississippi to visit. I think they have a museum with Medgar Evers at Medgar Evers house where he was taken out early. But yeah, and see, that's the thing with my brother from Alabama. He was always talking to the mayor. He was always standing for his right. Like, you see the picture that he had. This is the picture. Let me see if I can pull that up. This is the picture of my brother from, okay. This is the picture of my brother from, from Alabama. If I can do it. Okay, I might have. Let me see if I can pull that picture up of my man, Denoris Richardson. Look at him, though. Look at this picture that I have of him. And how you make this picture bigger? Okay, let me see if y'all can see it on this one right here. This is my brother, and look at the book he's holding. You see the picture? He says, you see the book that he got? It says, "Fight for Your Rights." Thank you, Gloria, for super chat. Appreciate you. But look at, and then, okay, you see the black man found suspended in air had sued Alabama police for brutality. It's not a self-unalivement, the widow says. So go back if you haven't seen that video as well. So this is and then my brother Evan Bryant, once again, like they came with the same narrative. So this is something that once again we have to be you said it sounds like the homeless. He not the homeless man, I don't think. The man on the call said he was there and seen everything. He said, that homeless man. Now he won't high as the homeless man. Now he might have been a little high. But heck man, I think so. What I mean, if I go, I'm gonna go under the cover of night or the cover of day, really, and then I'm gonna get on up out of there. But I'm definitely not traveling by myself. Let me see. Indigo Phoenix. My family is from Jackson and Milestone. MS. My great grandfather dealt with the Triple K. Book called Thunder of Freedom. Thunder of Freedom. Let's write that down. That sounds like something I want to. And I don't know if y'all know the story of Henry Morrow. We're going to touch on that probably at a later. Henry Morrow, they did a movie right there about him. It's called Blood Done Sign My Name. Y'all know my brother Nate. What was his name that did the Nat Turner movie? He did that, and he did also Blood Done Sign My Name. Now that's about Henry Morrow. Henry Morrow was an Army veteran that came home, and he went to the store, and they said that he said something out of the way to the store owners, Mr. Teal store. They said he said something out of the way to her, and they was like, go ahead and leave or something. But he was like, nah, man, I won't talking to her, man. I just want me something to drink. So then they went and got the shotguns, and then he ran, and then they shot him like 2 times, started beating him and beating him and beating him. Then, they unalived him. Yep, happened in Oxford, North Carolina. Bonnie Lynn, the Lion. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, so they Granville County, yep, that's the one. So they said that, they found him not guilty, and then, they said Oxford turned up though. They said Oxford turned up, they turned it, they set the town on. Nate Parker, appreciate you. I couldn't think of my man. I was about to say Nate Robinson, basketball player. But yeah, they done, so he had I like him because he always make these movies like that, highlighting that. But they said, they turned the town up, but the guy still didn't get convicted. It was an all-white jury, of course, and this happened in 1970s. I know that y'all think that's a long time ago, and it may be for some, but it's really only, a couple of generations ago. My parents were living there, living during that time. So, that's something that we've dealt with for years, but back then, as you see, it was more overt. They could do it. They can, they could go to court. They can get out, but now they have to do it in sinister fashion. So, man, I didn't mean to stay on this late, but this conversation always kind of get me passionate about us. Okay, so it's deeper than voting. He had 69 acres in all. The community has his land. Okay, I didn't really understand that, but I'm pretty like a lot of these, just like Silver Dollar Road. Somebody told me about that Silver Dollar Road, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that happened in Henderson as well, where some people wanted to take these brothers' land because it was by the water. They had a little juke joint right there, and they had to go fight in court, and they locked the brothers up in order to get their property. And so that happened, if I'm not mistaken, in Henderson. I met the lawyer coming out. I don't know if y'all remember the first video I did when I went down there. I saw this lawyer coming out of the court, and he told me a lot of things about, he said, man, I just got finished fussing out the DA and, and everything like that. So there's definitely, even though the town has a high black population, there's still a power dynamic that is not black. So that's the thing, what my man called it, the illusion of inclusion. Y'all brothers be safe visiting Mississippi. I visited with a friend from there, and she was from the town where Emmett Till was unalive, and we went to the market of Till, and it was riddled with bullets. Wow. So they took my granddaddy land in Kentucky, 50 acres. I'm telling you. TS, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. Let me see. There's a public officer who's working in Warren County that was harassing you black men. He got fired and now works in Little. And that's another thing. That's what they do. Justice for Javion. Let's not forget. Justice for Javion. Yep. And see, once again, like the feds, I'm down here in Wayne County. The feds have been down here. One of the officers just got convicted, but it's just a needle in a haystack. Wait a minute. Hold on. Street Angel, you spent 10 years in the county jail. Wait a minute. Spent 8 years in our county jail for trespassing on their own property. My late husband was his friend. Oh, yeah, Silver Dollar Road. Okay. Silver Dollar Road. It's on Amazon. They still messing with them. Yeah, so, yeah, I've heard of that. I appreciate you, Street Angel. That was the guy. I think a guy who was involved for fighting for justice for Mike Brown. Oh, yeah, that's they're talking about King Darren. Yep. King Darren. They said that, he was, shot 2 times. He was, beat up, and he was burnt alive in his car. And they ruled that as what? Take a guess. Take a guess. A man can shoot himself, beat himself up, and then burn himself in the car, and they ruled that. So, I mean, it's sometimes I feel my brothers who just want to crash out and just be like, hey, but you know what I mean? We can't, that's the, no, that ain't the way we gotta, that ain't the way we gotta handle it, because yeah, definitely. But they got me in the head a lot. They be restricting my videos, putting age restrictions on them, so that'll be less people that see them. So I try to abide by their rules. But it is what it is. We can kind of navigate and dance around. We're used to adapting. Yeah, they ruled that as a self-unalivement. Yep. Yeah. And that's actually how I found out it. Deal Tariq Nasheed, who's opened my eyes. The movies Hidden Colors, they definitely opened my eyes to a lot. Back when I really started digging into stuff. Sorry to say, yeah. I know that, yeah. So I did. I didn't like. I mean, I Pooh Bear. You said, yeah, you black men. I was like, wait a minute. You said, oh, you meant to say young black men. Okay, all right. But I mean, I know you didn't mean no harm, because but yeah, it's no wonder judgments are here targeting people, places, things being taken away, destroyed, only except. Yeah, and this I feel you, Victor, man, but I ain't ready to crash yet, man. Like they say, I pray every day and everything, but as the Jamaican song says, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. At least not right now. You know what I'm saying? But once again, if it was, that time or that situation, then of course, but yeah, you don't. Like I said, you don't appreciate you, Aisha Shabazz. It's time for reparations and self-determination for Afro-descendants. Please check out what the Afro-descendant nation is doing. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, appreciate it. Send me an email on that. And if you don't have the email, let me put it up there too. Let me put this up there. Yeah, so I know there's a lot of groups. A lot of groups that are doing certain things, once again, but it's in pockets though, right? We got a lot of groups doing things as well, but they're, in pockets. Thank you, Bonnie Lynn. Knowledge is power, and I appreciate the knowledge that you bring. Appreciate you. Once again, all praises due, to the Most High, for, just giving us the unction, the inclination. Being as Johnson. Okay, YouTube and face. So yeah, look at last shall be first, but I like you, man. Victor, you go first and then we'll follow. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because if you notice, that's what people put their life on the line for people, and they do, they put their life on the line, and then everybody, don't ride for them in the end. So you got to be careful with that, So you got to be careful, whether it's, they come at you from a legal standpoint, or financial standpoint, all of those things. You got to be careful when you definitely got to keep the pressure on West, definitely, but more importantly, keep the pressure on Sheriff Rain. We stronger than what we used to. Tribulations, we are resilient people. That's one thing we don't do is commit. Yes, right. That's right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. I got to get some rest tonight, but make sure you check up. I appreciate you, Mr. B. Appreciate you, Mr. B. Make sure y'all check in tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try to have it up by 8, depending on circumstances. But you're going to find out, some information about those 3 people who we've been analyzing and are one and the same. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, like I don't have any, what I'm saying. I know he put out some good information, that so I don't, once again, I don't judge a man by, Share Brain answered the call and hung up. I think that's what he do now. We gonna keep calling. Mr. Taylor, the Bible says an eye for an eye. Yeah. Nah, see, I don't play that. Like somebody put their hands on me now. We gonna have a tussle. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tussle. But that's something that, once again, if I go to the police station, like I said, I used to fight the police a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to fight them. But of course, 6 against 1, they gonna win. They gonna put me in jail. They're gonna give me extra charges. So now, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm like, okay, you got it, bro. You got the badge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna let you put anything, take me away from my family. So you gotta be, you gotta be smart. But I get the eye for an eye thing, if it come down to it. But once again, this is chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? They playing chess. We still playing checkers in some ways. You know what I'm saying? Like crashing out, that's checkers. You know what I'm saying? Why are they keeping that man phone from his family? He did. Once again, that is the reason why I say it's a cover up. But let me get out of here, y'all. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all once again for all the super chats, for all donations, all the sharing of the video. Please like the video so we can get it out into the algorithms. Thank you all for tuning in, sharing the video. I see a lot of familiar names and faces, so it does my heart good to see that y'all are still rocking. There you go, Victor. Stop it, man. See, I'm trying to go, man. That is not what I said, man. Let's wait on Jesus. That's what he said. Stop it, man. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not that. I'm an action guy too. Okay, we're gonna leave y'all with this scripture then. Ezekiel 35:6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hadst not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And that is, once again, a prophecy towards the people who are shedding blood. Shalom, 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 shalom. To everyone tonight. May brothers, may God once again watch over y'all. Keep y'all safe. No weapon formed against us will prosper. Every tongue that rises up against us in judgment shall be condemned. 1,000 shall fall at their right hand and 10,000 at their right side, but it will not come near us. We are more than the conquerors through Christ that strengthen us. But nevertheless, I appreciate y'all. Once again, keep sending in the information, the stories, things that we can expose that nobody knows about. So I love y'all. May the peace of God, rest upon y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and love.